Hello out there, it's your old pal Paula. You're in my Las Vegas kitchen, and as we approach the end of August, I feel like I need to make something sweet. Now, carrying on with our theme this year of featuring some of the famous chefs that have restaurants down on the Strip, today we're going to talk about a guy who is not only famous for his wonderful restaurants, perhaps more famous for his TV shows. Of course, I'm talking about Gordon Ramsay, the great British chef. And if you've ever been to his restaurants, you know that sticky toffee pudding is his famed dessert. Well, on his website, he has shared a recipe for it. Not only that, he has shared a recipe for individual sticky toffee puddings, and I love that idea. Let's take a look at what goes into them. So on the cake side, we've got flour, some brown sugar, soda, and baking powder. We've got butter, an egg, and surprise ingredient, dates. We're going to puree those. Then for the topping, we are using, again, brown sugar and butter. We're using some milk and some heavy cream, a little pinch of salt, a little bit of corn syrup, and the piece de resistance, we're going to throw in some bourbon. This Woodford Reserve was a gift from our friends Walt and Tina over in Virginia. Love the idea of using this in a recipe on Paula's Las Vegas Kitchen. All right, let's get started. Well, hey, here we are at the prep area, and I've started some prep. I have never cooked with dates before. This is a first for me. I always love discovery. So I have some pitted dates I got at the grocery store. I need 5 ounces of them, and I need to roughly chop them to make 3/4 cup. As you can see, I got a little head start on you. They're very easy to do. They're a little sticky, but they're very easy to cut in this rough chop. What's going to happen next is once I have this all cut up, I am going to pour a little bit of baking soda and hot water on them. We're going to steep them or soak them for 10 minutes, and then they're going to get pureed. Hey, however Gordon says to do it, that's the way we are going to do it. So I've almost got the 3/4 cup. One more date, or maybe 2. You know, he's an abrasive personality. You might like him, you might not. But you cannot deny the man's success. He first opened restaurants back in 1997. He has 6 of them here in Vegas, and they're always jam-packed, I will tell you that. All right, that's enough of these. I've got 3/4 cup. Let me pull my bowl over, pour these in. Now, next step, I need 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. Pour that over top, like so. Interesting, huh? And then I need, let me double check, 1/4 cup of boiling water. I just boiled this real quick, so let me move this out of my way and just pour 1/4 cup. This is a very, very interesting treatment, friends. All right, and then once you do the 1/4 cup, you are supposed to kind of mash them down so that they stay in the water. So I thought maybe my potato masher might work best for that. So here we go. And now I simply need to set a timer for 10 minutes. And after the 10 minutes, we'll do the pureeing. I'll see you in 10. Alrighty, it's blender time. My 10 minutes is up. In goes my mess. On goes the lid, super tight. And off goes the sound. All right, there we go. Now we are going to add this to our batter, or what they call the puddings. Next up, pudding batter. I have got 3 tablespoons of unsalted butter at room temperature, and I'm going to add to it 6 tablespoons of light brown sugar. We are going to cream that just with our hand mixer, since it's such a small amount, on high for about a minute till it's nice and creamy. All right, that is well blended. Now I'm going to add 1 egg. I already cracked it and got it ready. I'm going to drop that in, and we're going to beat this again. Just that quick, that already reminds me of toffee. Just the brown sugar, the butter, and the egg. All right, next up, we're going to do some dry ingredients. I preheated my oven to 350 degrees, and I have greased and floured 6 of the little holders in my cupcake tin, because this makes 6. So I have my wet ingredients ready, and the dries are a ½ cup plus 2 tablespoons of just regular all-purpose flour. And I will say, for those of you international, the recipe is not only, you know, in cups and tablespoons, but it's also in grams. So if you weigh and measure that way, you'll be able to make this recipe. And it also says it easily doubles to make 12 instead of 6 if you're having a crowd. All right, so first of all, I'm going to incorporate my flour, and then I need 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder to go in, and the instructions say to just stir until blended and not much more. And then you already know what the last ingredient is. It's going to be my pureed dates. So once I have these in the tin, they are going to bake for 17 to 19 minutes, kind of as much you would do a cupcake or a muffin. All right, I think that is just about right. And then here go the dates. That made a beautiful puree, no doubt. I always try to do this so you could see it, but you know I'm going to have to turn this around to get everything out of the bowl. I might as well just do it. I love spatulas because they get every drop. Super simple recipe, huh? Not much to this. I can't wait for the tasting. And I'm going to splurge and make real whipped cream. Very intriguing batter, is it not? It's very unique. All right, I am going to spoon this into the 6 muffin tins, get this in the oven, and I will see you when I pull it out. Toffee time! I got a small saucepan out, and I have put 1 stick, ½ cup of unsalted butter in the pan to get started. So the instructions say throw everything in except the bourbon, and let's make the toffee. So first of all, like I said, we've got the butter. I need 1 cup of packed light brown sugar. So that is going to go in. Let me crumble that as I go a little bit. Get that mixed in. Okay. Then I need 2 tablespoons of just regular milk and 2 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream. And I bought a big container of that. We're going to have some real whipped cream with these later. And then a pinch of kosher salt. So let me just do a little pinch of that. All right, that is it. Now I am to bring this to a boil, and then we're going to boil and thicken it for 3 minutes to make the greatest toffee ever. Ooh, look at this already. It's looking good. I'm a caramel nut. Caramel, toffee, all the same thing. So very excited about this. All right, let me come back to you after we've got it boiling and thickened. Well, hey, everything happened at once. My puddings are done. I just put the toothpick in and they are done. Took more like 17 minutes than 19. And look at this thing bubbling away. I think it's been my 3 minutes. I'm turning it off. I love making candy. One thing I forgot to say, dumb me, I was going to measure out the 2 tablespoons of corn syrup and put them in on camera. Totally forgot to do that. So of course the corn syrup is in here. Now, the last thing you do when you take it off the fire is we're going to add the bourbon, and then this is done. So let's measure out. Again, it's the infamous 2 tablespoons. So we'll just measure 1. Woo, it's liking that. And 2. Oh, that smells heavenly. Look at that going crazy, and there isn't even any heat on it. It's a beautiful thing. All right, toffee is ready. It just has to cool a little bit, obviously, before we serve. And then let me show you this, okay? They're hot. I'll just put them under the overhead camera for you. Don't those look great? Oh my gosh, they smell superb. Next time I see you, it's tasting time. Well, Heidi ho, here we are. It's tasting time. In your absence, I did a couple things. I took the rest of that heavy cream and I made whipped cream out of it. I also made myself a cup of English breakfast tea, because why wouldn't I, to taste something by Gordon Ramsay. And I also took the toffee, which has beautifully thickened up, and I want to show you on camera as we pour this beautiful whiskey, or I should say bourbon flavored toffee over top of this. All right, I have to say, that almost looks like what I saw on the website. Ooh, that whiskey flavor just comes up in my face. Look how pretty this is, everybody. Look at that. All right, tasting time. Let's do this. A little bit of whipped cream, a little bit of toffee, a little bit of the pudding, AKA cake. Bite. Like nothing I ever ate. I never ordered dessert at Gordon Ramsay. I've eaten there, but I'm always too full. So I've never tasted this. That cake, the pudding, is superb. It has a little bit of crust when you put your fork into it, but the dates inside, it is moist and flavorful. And you know, it hardly had any ingredients. It's got to be the dates and the brown sugar that are giving it that flavor. The whipped cream just sets that off, and that whiskey flavored toffee. Oh, heaven. One more bite. That is not an American dessert. It is exotic. It is really, really good. Super simple to make. I would absolutely do this for company because it's really pretty as well as flavorful. Oh, terrific. Thank you so much for being with me in Paula's Las Vegas kitchen as we did a little exploration of Gordon Ramsay. Also, quick little shout out. This is my Knott's Berry Farm apron from our friends, the Tuckers. I've worn this before. I love to bake in this apron. Reminds me of boysenberry pie. Anyway, thanks so much. And we will see you next time in the kitchen. Bye, everybody.